Charles Chuck Sand was born in Lindsay, son of the town's grocers, Charles and Angela. In 1968, Chuck and his Lindsay classmate, Ivan Backus, founded an ag construction business, and Sand Construction soon after began to focus on swine confinement facilities and in fact became a well-known pioneer in the design and building of confinements. By 1984, Chuck's company, now known as Sand Livestock Systems, was one of the largest designers and builders of swine confinement facilities domestically and internationally. Their international presence was thanks in part to his 1979 entrance into the newly opened market in the People's Republic of China. Sand's international business also included sales in more than 50 construction projects abroad, including China, South Korea, Central and South America, the Caribbean, Nigeria, and Mexico. Back at home, by 1995, Chuck's company had built over 350 confinement systems in the U.S., and he had become one of the top pork producers in the nation, producing more than 1 million pigs a year worldwide. Sand employed over 400 Nebraskans in his various companies. Chuck's flagship business, Sand Livestock Systems, designed and built hog farms, but oftentimes Chuck was personally a part owner of the farm in a partnership. A sister consulting company, Sand Systems, was usually hired to manage the farm, so Chuck's full involvement included designing, building, owning, and managing a farm. As a local businessman for over 40 years, Chuck tried his hand at a variety of ventures, including manufacturing, banking, radio, insurance, real estate development, poultry, and he also helped back others' business dreams in restaurants and retail. In retirement, he completed the circle and returned to his crop farming roots. Following Chuck's death in 2012, the family farm remains managed by his son, Mike Sand. Chuck promoted Columbus, Nebraska at every opportunity. He served on the Columbus Economic Council, played a key role in the construction of the Columbus Bell Tower, and served as president of the Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce. In 1995, Chuck received the Chamber's Archway Award, and in 2000, he was inducted into the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame. Chuck and his wife Carol raised 3 children, Mike, Michelle, and Nicole. Global impact as well as local impact defined the business and personal life of Chuck Sand.
I'm John Peck, and I had the good fortune of meeting Chuck in the early 70s when he first moved to Columbus. At that time, I think it was basically just he and Carol. I was in the banking business, and we started out as a business relationship, later on becoming a close personal friendship. I had the good fortune of hunting, fishing, playing golf, which Chuck was no good at, and also traveling extensively throughout the world. We were in Africa, Canada, Mexico, East Coast, West Coast. Usually it involved a card game, and always had a good time to go along with it. We enjoyed Chuck. The only thing you had to worry about Chuck being involved in was when he came looking for you for a political donation or money for his SCOTUS gala. He was one of the people that was heavily involved in building the bell tower with me. In fact is, I can tell you that it wouldn't have gotten built without Chuck. Chuck, we miss you. We wish you were here. This honor is well-deserved. Good evening.
My name is John Higgins, and I was Vice President of International for Sand Livestock Systems from 1990 to 2002. I knew Chuck Sands for over 40 years. I knew him in the days when he was constructing buildings and storage tanks for Butler Manufacturing. Even then, he was known as Mr. Just Do It. Then he teamed up with Ivan Backus, who was known as Right Now. And you take Just Do It and combine it with Right Now, you've got a formidable force that changed pork production in the whole world. They began the pioneering of pork production early on and developed it over 30 years to where it quadrupled production in China and tripled it in the United States. It's an amazing story with the incredible result. He built hundreds of farms in the United States. and he built production in China from medieval raising of Measham hogs into modern pork production on a massive scale. To where in China today, they raise over 5 times the pork that you do in the United States. Last year, they produced 60 million tons of pork. 60 million tons of pork. The people that produced it were the same people that Chuck brought here 30 years ago to train in his farms in Nebraska. They came here as young kids. He took care of them, he trained them, he taught them how to drive, how to speak English, made them comfortable the whole time they were there, then took them back to China to run the farms he was building there. Those kids he brought over here 30 years ago are now the foundation of the pork industry in China. One of them, known as Terry, is now the head of agriculture in China. They also returned in May of 2013 and bought Smithfield Farms, which is 25% of U.S. production. The story is amazing, and the beautiful part of it, the one fact that is indisputable, is that because of Chuck, every night, today, yesterday, and for many tomorrows in the future, there are tens of millions of children that go to bed each night with more pork in their stomach than they would have without Chuck Sands. That's a beautiful gift from an amazing man.
And the Columbus Area Business Hall of Fame is proud in 2014 to induct into its membership Charles Chuck Sand.